All right, hello and welcome to this matchup between the Virginia Beach Mariners at the Pottsville Maroons. Today we're going to be witnessing quite a game. As we all know, the games that are commentated by me, ran by me, tend to lean a lot more heavily on the run game and defense. Pass game, not so much. And of course, we have the #1 rushing team here. And of course, the Pottsville Maroons are going to be facing the greatest team in the NAGA's history. So this will be interesting. Let's go ahead and head over to the expert picks. 21% chance, which is actually pretty good, all things considered, with how dominant Virginia Beach is. I'd expect more of like a 13% chance, but an extra 8 bumping up on those 1,000 simulations. And of course, we have Joe predicting a Falcons solidification of 28-3. Not allowing a comeback, but really the only one that thinks it's going to be competitive is, of course, Dave, as James probably has them kind of scoring late, probably be a 21-6 type game, and then Pottsville gets a last-second touchdown, but we'll see. Now, of course, we are going to be heading into a different stadium. As with all my games, I try to match the aesthetics with the team. Of course, this is the base Atlanta Stadium for the Pottsville Maroons, but obviously this will be the home of the Pottsville Maroons, as Virginia Beach will be they'll be receiving, as Pottsville will be kicking off. And of course, McCringleberry, the prospect of Mr. E, taking it up to the 23, a gain of 3 in the hidden yards game. So Ronan Gallagher, one of the top-end quarterbacks of the league, is going to motion out number 82. He's going to hand off to Moore, and Moore stiff arm, but the Pottsville defensive line, my goodness. And I'm not going to lie, I don't have that roster in front of me, so that man's last name is not getting pronounced because I will butcher it to high hell and back. So we'll get to that when I get there. As Gardner off to the left, shedding a tackle. Cut down at the knees. And number 90. It'll be gain of just 2. And Pottsville holding up very decently, but now comes the pass attack, something that Virginia Beach cannot be stopped in. And, oh my goodness, Pottsville making a dominant showing on the first drive. That was almost a guarantee first down. 12, 13-yard gain. Pottsville shuts it down. And Pierce now with the return. And they'll now get a gain of 5 yards. 2 more yards in the hidden yardage game for Pottsville. This defense for Virginia Beach, though, is daunting. So although you got the stop, you must now drive down the field and at least score a field goal. And Barr off to the left. Gain of 6 yards. This is already astounding. Take the loss, take the win. Who cares? You've had a dominant first showing, and that's all you need to know. Beating Columbus last week has probably infused this team with confidence that they probably did not have after the first week. Blake pressured. Ooh. Nearly intercepted. And the yellow lettering on the jersey, along with the lighting from the stadium's lights up above, reflected off that number. I think that was 57. As Blake back to pass, caught by Singleton, and he's running backwards. So what was a guarantee first down is now a punt. And that's not the momentum that you want against this Virginia Beach team. So the punt is now away. And Kelsey with the return. Taken down shy of the 20-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1 in the hidden yardage. Gallagher back with the greatest running back remaining in the league, Moore. And wow. This Pottsville defense is something else under Coach Barr. This... not something you expect to see, and Virginia Beach already moving to the pass game, and rightfully so, as Wilson catches for a gain of 9, the most yardage this game has seen so far. And now 3rd and 1, this is almost a guarantee here. Gallagher motion out the number 9, I believe is Moore, and of course, obvious first down, gain of 2. Teams like Virginia Beach are difficult to stop outside of 2-yard gains. But once they get to that 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, 3rd and inches, it's like playing against Army in college. They're going to get it. So he pitches it out to Gardner. Gardner with the stiff arm, but again, the rallying for the tackling is just absolutely incredible. It's now Gallagher. Gonna motion out number 19, Mac Jones. Hands off to Moore, runs to the inside, but he is swallowed up by this defensive line. It's 3rd and 7. It's gonna be another passing attempt. Gallagher back to pass, rush, and Howard just, shouldn't have gotten that pass off, but the linebacker confused, letting the man go. And of course, Adonio Howard with that reception. Gardner now, massive gain, 7 yards. Gabriel Taylor now subbing in for Colin Pierce. Some more now coming back in. Gallagher going to motion the man, number 87, to the inside. More crucial block there by number 87. And Gardner now will come in. Kamani Moore, 5 rushes, 6 yards. Not the exact stat line you expect, but this Pottsville defense standing up for itself as Gardner, only a gain of 3. And this is one of the most dominant running games in the league. You have a running back 1 and running back 1B as Moore gets the run, and he is tackled, dragged across the first down, so that will be a new set of downs for Virginia Beach due to the defensive awkward positioning for a tackle. And Gardner spins around. He's going to charge forward for a gain of 14, and I think that was number 8, Michael Wilson, just sprinting up the left sideline. Jabari Gardner having the better game, 5 for 30. They're going to pitch it out to Moore, and this, oh my goodness, gain of 15 stopped. Number 41, preventing the go-ahead touchdown right there. And that, of course, is Gabriel Taylor. Walker, gain of 2. And that's a face mask against Randall Dodd. So now Virginia Beach, after getting stopped, will move forward. Eric Walker will have all of his yardage erased. Moore, oh my goodness, shedding the tackle, but oh wow, what a rallying tackle. Oh my goodness. So Mr. Antonio Willis, the strong safety, is out, and Gardner, oh my goodness, the stoppage here. As Marquise Hooks, the 3rd cornerback on the depth chart, getting into the stop. 3rd and goal at the 1. Can Virginia Beach punch it in? Pottsville not looking to move. Here we go, off to Moore, and that was just too much. Touchdown, Virginia Beach Mariners. And that is what you have to be worried about, the pitches to the outside. The speed on these running backs, let alone the blocking power by the tight ends, the wide receivers. It's something akin to the first 3 runs that San Antonio had with their blocking power for Ramon Gooden, and that is why this Virginia Beach offense is the number 1 rushing offense this year. Lots of great blocking up front as Stevens with the return up to the 15, so that's going to be a loss of 5 yards in the hidden yardage game. So that is not exactly what you want to see. This drive may not go that well as Blake sacked, and of course, a bad return always hints at a bad drive. Isaiah Carroll, 1 tackle, 1 sack. He's going to motion the man out to the left. That's the fullback Singleton. Curious. Gain of 2 yards by Amani Garrison. Matt Barr now in. And Matt Barr is now subbed. There's a weird formation going on here as that was triple coverage. Matt Barr is the fullback, and Marion Singleton has been subbed in for fullback. Quite the interesting maneuver, potentially on one of those run plays where he gassed out, getting subbed out. And of course, obviously, it's hard to sub a fullback in and out. They rarely get a play called, and if you are unfortunate enough to be Matt Barr, who's been replaced by 90 Fitness Singleton, as Moore rushing for 3 yards, you're not getting that spot back. So now they're in a predicament. Thankfully enough, Matt Barr is an 83 star second-year player. That's Kamani Moore. Off to the left. Moore trudging forward, gain of 19 yards. Derek Nelms now replacing Marquise Hooks. Kamani Moore, 11 for 54, and a touchdown. He is bringing back up his stat line from 5 carries and 6 yards as Gardner sheds off the tackle, brought down, gain of 5. And this is what is so difficult for teams that face Virginia Beach. If you do not get ahead of them, if you do not score on that first drive, if you do not stop them on their first drive, they will simply score again. Even if the Pottsville Maroons are able to stop Virginia Beach on this drive, a field goal is inevitable. As more off, and that's a touchdown. I mean, just simple X's and O blocking. Nothing too fancy. More in for the touchdown. Bryce McDonald celebrating a little bit too much, so they don't even have to kick the PAT from an extra 5 yards out, which isn't a problem. Unless, of course, you are on the right hash, but, of course, they subbed him out for Nate Gilroy, who is now kicking upright. PAT is good. And, of course, as a sidebar, we must talk about why Nate Gilroy was released from the Raleigh Royals. There's really no point for him being let go. He's 34 years old. He's still a star. He's graded out as an 88. He's got a 92 kick accuracy, 87 kick power. What more could you want from a kicker? Blake sacked again. Loss of 9. 2nd and 19. Second straight drive to start with a sack. And the Pottsville Maroons finding out why Virginia Beach is one of the greatest teams in the NAGA's history. Singleton rushing for 7 yards. 3rd and 12. And, of course, before this game potentially gets too out of hand, we will talk philosophies, discussion of team building. Blake over the middle. Garrison with a neat catch, but 5 yards shy of the first down. That'll be a punt. And, of course, exactly kind of what the two owners are looking for in their season. As the punter boots that one deep ahead of the 20, so this will be nothing but positive yards for Virginia Beach. Just shy of the 30. Marking down at the 29. Gallagher more in the backfield. And, of course, Churchill, the fullback. Under center, hands off to Moore. All the room in the world. Charging forward for a gain of 10. It'll be 2nd and inches. The philosophy of the Virginia Beach Mariners is known very widely. For those of you who are new to this team, they're one of the greatest as a rare TFL. That is Dodd on the TFL. As we go ahead and wait to see if this 3rd and 1 can be stopped. That was a shocking stop by the Pottsville Maroons, and it cannot. Gardner. Virginia Beach Mariners are known very well across the NAGA. They are one of the greatest teams we have ever seen. The roster building, acquitted by Mr. Read Option. As more off to the left, and my goodness, it's just too easy. Monty Moore, 19-yard gain. Mr. E has built this team from the ground up starting in Season 2. Lots of injuries preventing them from really having a fair shot. Chances Gardner just shedding tackles. Getting a fair shot in the championship game. Loads of injuries. Maneuvered his team all the way up to the Jugan Bowl. That's a 2-minute warning now arrives. They faced off against San Antonio in a losing effort. Came back, won it all the next season. They fell short the prior season. Well, not the prior season, but the following season after that in Season 4. As the Louisville Kings, led by Iowa Matt, took the league by storm. Gallagher off to the left. That is dropped. And then, of course, the following year after that, which was Season 5, this previous season, they once again met up with San Antonio. And once again fell shy due to a rookie's missed kick of a field goal on the right hash from the 20-yard line. And that quite literally sealed up the entire game. No final drive needed by quarterback Ryan Davis of the San Antonio Fighters. All they needed to do was run the clock out. Ramon Gooden, obviously, just like Kamani Moore, knew how to do that. This 44-yard field goal is good. Virginia Beach is very more so lenient on the run game, not because they don't know how to pass the ball, but because they understand that being a boa constrictor is a much more successful tactic than throwing the ball 500 times a game and praying to God that your offensive line does not let up a sack. Virginia Beach also has one of the best running back rooms I think we've ever seen in the history of the NAGA. This is not even close. San Antonio's running back room last year with Ramon Gooden and Devon Bronson doesn't even come close. Kamani Moore, Jabari Gardner, both incredible talents. Daniel Blake launching that into quadruple coverage. The speed, the size, and the lethality of these two running backs is insane. What is more insane is Kamani Moore is only 188 pounds, and he is insanely fast. What is even scarier is the fact that Jabari Gardner is 223 pounds and running just as fast. He is a wrecking ball. He's also 74 inches tall, 4 inches taller than Kamani Moore. And I said inches because I'm stupid. That is not. Goodness gracious. So we go ahead. My American education is very low. And that is picked off by Gray. The football game decided, let's just shut this guy up and get this over with. Pottsville now has a chance for a score. And it is 74 inches, but what I meant to say was he was 6'1". Technically, if you want to round up, he's 6'2", and that was nearly intercepted. What I had meant to say, instead of saying that he's 4 inches taller, as 74 to 70, was that Moore is 5'8". Daniel Blake off to the left, caught by JoJo Stevens, gain of 25 yards. And so that power in Gardner is why he has some of the more powerful running games. His height is just unbelievable, and you stack on the extra weight, and really defensive tackles can't bring him down. Blake back to pass, got a rusher in his face into quadruple coverage. And oh no. Defensive back number 22, Julius Kelsey, head injury, not expected to return. That was going to be a big blow. Obviously, Julius Kelsey, their free safety, launching that into a damn near pick six. My goodness. But, of course, to back him up, most likely is either going to be Luigi. Okay, we're going to throw this into the end zone. I have to be honest. There's no enunciation here. I don't know how to pronounce this dude's last name. Connect is going to kick, and he's going to miss, so Pottsville doesn't even get the points. So we probably need to look into a kicker for Pottsville. Thomas Connect, the 31-year-old, 90 kick accuracy, 91 kick power, but that left hash and that right hash, that's deadly. Launching off to the right side, and that will be incomplete, as Ronan Gallagher's completion rate just tanks. My goodness, 2 for 8, 17 yards, 1 interception. But, of course, Kamani Moore doesn't want his quarterback to look terrible, so he'll catch an easy pass for 17 yards. Gallagher will motion the man to the inside. That is, of course, Daniel Howard. Gallagher over the middle on the right side of the field. That'll be the end of the first half. Virginia Beach up 17-0. Now, of course, we move on to the the Pottsville Maroons, as I invert that because I haven't commentated the game in so long. This is my first go at it. JoJo Stevens evading the tackle. He'll gain less than 1 yard. In fact, he lost a yard. 1st and 10. This could be an interesting drive. He was just shy of the 20. Perhaps they'll be able to have a good drive here. Daniel Blake back to pass on the run off to Garrison. Gain of 6 yards. And, of course, Daniel Blake notably playing on Memphis just prior, leading that team to a win. Blake back to pass. 3-man rush off to Singleton. Gain of 7 yards. That's a first down. A wonderful, beautiful drive by the Pottsville Maroons. It seems like they're very good at scripted plays. They're probably one of the best teams in the league for scripted plays. It just so happens that they're unfortunately facing one of the best teams. Gain of 6 yards. Matt Barr coming in now. 2nd and 4, and of course, Coach Barr, this is where you will learn about the unfortunate fullback issue. Back to pass is Blake's going to launch out to the right, and Kavanaugh, gain of 5 yards. And Kaiser, who is that? We're about to find out right here. The center, Bobby Kaiser, the 2nd-year man, injured. Down he comes. Under center, Garrison off to the right. Oh, my goodness. And we're about to find out who replaced him here soon. The center, that is, as Matt Barr comes in. Number 64. That is right tackle Reese Holland will come in. 27-year-old. Out of Cincinnati. Matt Barr with a lane and room to run. Gain of 6, and that's a first down. The Maroons are moving efficiently on this drive. 3 minutes, 34 total yards. Back to passes Blake. Lots of pressure. Cannot get rid of it in time. That's a loss of 9. Jenkins on an all-out blitz. Amani Garrison back in. 2nd and 19 or 2nd and long for those coaches who are looking at your play weight sheet. Jesus. Play weight sheets. As I tried to say, play weight call sheets. And that is obviously not the term. 3rd and 19. Here we go. So this is 3rd and long. If you have any run plays with even 1% in it, Stevens with the first down, gain of 23. That's a first down. If you have even 1% on your play weight sheet for 3rd and long, they will have a potential to run it. You want to crank that to 100 pass as Blake once again gets crushed and obliterated. Loss of 8. And that is Justin Lamar for his first sack, the defensive back, number 26. 2nd and 18. It's forever. And Singleton, oh my goodness, evades the tackle, charges forward, gain of 17, 1 yard shy, 3rd and 1. Kaiser is back from injury, so he'll take back over as number 4. What? I just realized that. An interesting set of numbers. Barr charging forward, gain of 6 yards. I believe this was stated by Coach Barr earlier in the season to look at his offensive line numbering, and of course, we're witnessing that now as Garrison, oh my goodness, not a single block in sight. That's going to be a, no, that is not going to be a TFL. 2nd and 10, no gain. Amani Garrison, 6 for 16, 2 for 13 on 3 targets. Back to pass. Blake has all day, and that's going to not be intercepted. Okay. 3rd and 10, Michael Orsini coming in, back in after Nathan Fordyce came in. And Blake under center. And he's back to pass. 4-man rush. Got a wide open Mac touchdown. My goodness. Somebody needs to tell me what is going on here. The Mac truck with the touchdown. Connect with the extra point. He finally doesn't miss something. Here we go. A very old wide receiver room. Not exactly the fastest. In fact, their fastest player is their 4th string. Their rookie, Jerome Barrett, as McCringleberry charges forward, gain of about 3. Yes, gain of 3 yards in the hidden yardage game. This is looking very nice for Virginia Beach. Potentially going to be a touchdown. Gallagher hands off to Moore. Moore, oh, sheds the tackle, but taken down, gain of 3 yards. Jabari Gardner now subbing in. Money Moore, 17 for 99, 1 reception for 17 yards, but he has 2 touchdowns. Pitches it out to Gardner. Gardner, 1 man to beat. Never mind, the block got picked up. Virginia Beach, a team that very rarely lets up an open block for their runner to get tackled. So very rare. Come on, Moore. Oh my goodness, the spin around, and he might go. Never mind, gain of 40 yards. Number 30 with the stop. And that was a touchdown-saving tackle by Josiah Keys, the 2nd string cornerback. I say 2nd string, but he's literally cornerback 2. Gardner, gain of 4. Josiah Keys now subbing back in with Randall Dodd. Pitches it out to Walker. Walker's slow ass is moving forward. Gain of 13. I apologize for some of the language. It's just every time I see Walker or whoever that Vancouver running back was last year, oh my God, get them off the field. Gardner in for the touchdown as he will reach in for that one. Honestly, I'd said the touchdown, but then I didn't think he got it, but he reached his hand across anyways with the animation, and they gave it to him. So Virginia Beach is up 24-7. And my theory that a good gain of plus yardage on a kickoff or punt return, resulting in a score, showing up well tonight. Minus, of course, the first drives for the Pottsville Maroons, and this, of course, is a loss of 4, apologies, not that bad, 4 yards. So this will probably end in a no score. So we're going to test this theory out here. I may have been onto something, and I might be the Tony Romo of the NAGA. As Blake launching over to the left to Barr. Barr charging forward, gain of 8. That'll be the end of the 3rd quarter. So now we reset. So take that kick return away. That's my theory. The theory is as long as you kick or punt return. Oh my goodness, Garrison, gain of 2. It's going to be 3rd and inches. 3rd and 1. And Antoine Morgan has a leg injury, but is expected to return. So Monty Garrison. Here we go to Singleton. Oh, my goodness, does he get it? Oh, he does it. So, no, the punt and kick return theory holds true. Am I about to ruin this entire game? And I'm not talking about the video right now. I'm talking about the real game, Axis football. Am I about to ruin the entire situation? Where you can tell every game by a kickoff or punt return. That is insane. More. And you know what? I'll staple onto this. If your special teams is bad, man, oh man, that's just a sign to come about how bad your team is. Virginia Beach rarely loses in the special teams department. And the only times they've lost have been to San Antonio, who had one of the greatest special teams in the league. As Kamani Moore, from 5 carries and 6 yards to 20 carries and 147 yards. A silent, dominating game. Zach Hildreth coming in for Randall Dodge. Jabari Gardner now not looking as dominant, but each running back has a, oh my goodness, touchdown apiece. Moore, gain of 23, number 27 in at the stop. And that, of course, is Antonio Willis, the strong safety. Gallagher motioning me out to the right. Pitches it out to Gardner. Gardner, oh my goodness, number 40 at the stop. I think that was Randall Dodd, and it was. Gain of 6, 2nd and 4. Jabari Gardner, 14 for 76. Going from the leading man to the backup man. As Walker's now in it, and Walker will pull on his cane and slow walk for 2 yards. Now 3rd and 2. And the entire running back room just played musical chairs. The entire running back room. Jake English even got a chance to set foot on the field. That was insane. Moore with some of the greatest blocking I've seen since seasons 2 to 5. 1st and goal at the 5. Kamani Moore about to break a 200-yard rushing game. Gallagher hands off to Gardner. Evades the first tackle. Nearly got away from the second. 2nd and goal at the 3. Antonio Willis subbing in for Marquise Hooks. Gardner now 78 total yards. And Moore now coming in. Moore with the handoff and the touchdown, and that should be number 3. And it is. 187 yards, 17 receiving yards. This man has officially eclipsed 200 total scrimmage yards. And Gilchrist on a special teams injury. Leg not expected to return. He will be okay for the next game. But that is going to be a serious blow for, well, who am I kidding? It's 31-7. That injury would have been a lot more killer if he had been injured, I don't know, not when they were up 31-7. False start. Loss of 5, 1st and 15 at the 20. So a very good gain of 25 yards on a touchback. Blake back to pass, has all day, going deep. Oh, the 2 wide receivers. 2 defensive backs, I apologize. I mean, Virginia Beach has their catch rate so high, which I don't know. I've got my opinion about 65 catch, and I've got my opinion about letting every cornerback have 65 catch. Riddle me this, Batman. What cornerback is going to go into the NFL? Have 35 catch rating. We'll be generous. Say they have 40. And then 2 years in, they're catching like the prime Xavier Howard with 11 interceptions. Tell me, Batman. Exactly. No one. We've got a handful of good cornerbacks in the NFL. And in this league, Stevens with the reception. If more defensive backs played zone with this 65 catch rating, we'd have a lot more interceptions like Orlando's Elijah Jennings. But nobody wants to play zone, and nobody has a fast enough receiver with 65 catch to play man. So in reality, we're sitting here waiting for a time bomb to go off. And one of these seasons, we're going to have quarterbacks averaging 9 interceptions through 12 games, which doesn't seem like a lot, but that's an interception a game. And that's with the average schedule. That's not talking about the top-end teams like Virginia Beach, Portland, Tucson. I don't really say if Sacramento's secondary is top end with 65 catch, but Sacramento, Minnesota, right? all these teams, and eventually we're going to have an interception issue. That's just my extremist view on defensive backs catching. Don't get me started on speed, because I also don't think that we should have a player with 80 speed, 78 speed, go up to 95. Tell me one person, as the Mack truck goes in for 20 yards, tell me one person you have met in your life that has gone from like a 6.5, a 5.5 speed to a 4.2 speed. It doesn't happen. Enough ranting. The game's over. We never talked about Pottsville's philosophy. So obviously Pottsville trying to be very old school, right? The big letters, the interception by Williams, rough. And now we're just going to have to run this game out, burn the timeouts, and kneel it out. They want to be old school. They want to get rid of the flashiness. They want to get, very tough up front. They want to make sure that the running game is solid, the culture is solid. And this is a very good game to measure it, right? Because Virginia Beach is that team. Virginia Beach is literally that team defined. Now, if you'd asked me 4 seasons ago, for 4 straight seasons, who that would be, I wouldn't say Virginia Beach. But Virginia Beach is still, regardless, one of the greatest teams in the league. And they are what the Maroons aim to be. And I think that's something a lot more owners should look into. There's so much about this, speed, so much so about, weapons. As Gardner just broke off a ridiculous they averaged 8.6 yards on that play, and they only averaged 8.6 because he just rushed for 80. What was that average? But -5 yards? Like, Jesus. I've never seen that in my life. I swear to God that said their run play averages 8.6 yards. It was every time it was called. That's insane. But, I think a lot more owners would do well to kind of take the philosophy of Virginia Beach and the Pottsville Maroons, right? Now, I'm not saying you should go in like Virginia Beach and be so run dominant heavy. Virginia Beach quite literally went into the season with the idea of having the greatest running back room in the league, and they're doing that, right? Jabari Gardner is a star. Is that a swat of the way? Kamani Moore is elite, and he's 27. Jabari Gardner's a star, by the way, at 22 years old, and he's already capped out at speed, tackle break, and is about to be capped out at the fumble. I mean, it's insane. Catch also up there. I mean, this is crazy, right? And that's what Virginia Beach is. They're the most run-dominant heavy team in the league. They're better than any team we've ever seen in the history of the NAGA, and I know that's speaking loudly if you know who I am, as Morgan with the interception. As my biased team, the San Antonio Fighters, was one of the greatest running teams, but this is the greatest rushing team we've ever seen and ever will be, as more rushes for 10 yards, gain of first down. As Pottsville calls their final timeout, and this will now be clock control. Kamani Moore, 218 yards, 26 rushes. And, I mean, just domination. I mean, and that's what Virginia Beach is, and that's what Pottsville, I assume, wants to be. They're very old school, trying to get up front, and their defense shows it, by the way. I think not enough has been talked about their defensive stand on everything, right? Their first drive in the first half, their first drive in the second half. I mean, it really shows the character that this Coach Barr has really put into his team. That is the final score, 38-7. A lone score coming on that first drive for Pottsville. They could have gotten 14 points, but unfortunately, Singleton dropped back a yard during their first drive. Antoine Morgan, the defensive back, 1 interception, 4 tackles, 3 pass deflections. Let's look at the stats over here. Daniel Blake, 16 for 35, 226, 1 touchdown, 2 receptions. And this is a great stat line. Do not ever think that this is a bad stat line. Because, well, first of all, look at Ronan Gallagher, 3 of 10. So he's got 30%, so he's going to regress. And he has an interception, and he threw for 34 yards, right? Let me just go ahead and show you, right? Justin Smith, George Williams, Isaiah Carroll, Justin Lamar, Julius Kelsey, who was injured, and Antoine Morgan all have the highest capped catch rate for defensive backs. That is a good stat line, in my opinion. Go over here. JoJo Stevens, obviously the offensive MVP, 5 receptions, 124 yards. Willis, the defensive back, 12 tackles. Of course, we go ahead and see this discrepancy. I mean, that is literally 350 yards of rushing. I mean, that is an entire offensive performance in 2 running backs. And here you go. 11 rush plays to 40 pass plays. Not quite what you want to see. 51 rush plays to 10 pass plays. Total yards, 403. 34 of those were passing. 369 were rushing. And, of course, obviously, Virginia Beach with 4 sacks. Pottsville with 0. 2 turnovers for Pottsville. 1 for Virginia Beach. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. Go to the player stats. A rating of 2. All right. Damn. Damn. Like, wow. That's got to be the lowest rating. No, I think we've had a 0 before. I think we've had a 0, and I'm pretty sure that was Jalen Weathers. There's no way Jalen Weathers had a better rating. I'm going to have to go back and check that. I mean, really, there's not much to talk about here. It was just a total ass whooping. Belt to ass. You got a couple cool things here. The lone interception was Reggie Gray. You got 3 TFLs. Laki Amatua. All right. We're not going to try to pronounce that. Randall Dodd and Marquise Hooks. Deflected passes. No forced fumbles. No recoveries. Punt returns. Kick returns. Kicking. 0 for 1 on field goals, but 1 for 1 on extra points. And that will be that. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the depth chart for injuries. Julius Kelsey, not expected to return, and Marquise Gilchrist was a special teams injury. Will return. And Pottsville does not have an injury. So that'll be it for this game. Hope you all had a wonderful time watching this beautiful, rushing, Cole-cursed performance. I will see you all in the next one.